we were right. It's hit the fan. So let's dive in and talk about it.
That guy was the very best the Democrats could come up with. Well, they had to get rid of him because even though everybody, including the new VP nomination, thought he was perfectly fine. Amazing. Yeah, that was that little Air Force One bit was from the beginning of the Biden administration. Folks, crazy pills. Crazy pills. Yesterday, I got that email comment about, you need to stop being a cheerleader. This story popped up. We're going to have a great show today. We need to understand how you and I actually think, right? We're all pretty close, but like we think on this sane, rational, if ideological at all, it has to do with freedom and liberty, but we think about our responsibilities to each other, to society, to the country, to the culture, how we deal with the old, the young, business, private, right? We think about that stuff on a very, very rational level. And then there's the world outside that will get into our heads if it can. It will get into our heads if it can and twist it around and make us feel like we're unreasonable. So you and I, we need to be very careful when it comes to trolls, moles and trolls, people out there who themselves may be losing their shit a little, and they'll throw their insanity in on top of us with everything else. For example, I want to go here just to start off the show. The comment came in yesterday, the second comment, maybe it was the third, I can't remember, about Trump and his ear. I'm going to put up this picture of Trump. Here's a picture of Trump. See how old he is? Trump is not a spring chicken. Notice the perforation, the fucking hole in his ear. It's been 2 weeks. He's got the world's best doctors. Take a look real close, right? It's cleaned out. He's going to get on a stage in front of the world. He doesn't want a big old scab and blood running down. So they clean it up, right? They put some cauterizing shit on there. They make it look all pretty and they put makeup on it, right? He's Orange Man, right? Orange Man don't want to look bad. You don't want to be red ear. So everything's makeup taken care of as best they can, right? Now, the conspiracy ding-dongs, not the conspiracy theorists, they tend to be right. Conspiracy ding-dongs will try and convince us with some crazy pills, some stupid pills, and they'll show you a picture from 2 years ago or even 3 months ago, and there's no hole in his ear, and then say, see, it's a fake. We've all got to pull back, me included, because I can get a little worked up and crazy sometimes, but we all got to just remember our base, who we are on a fundamental, basic ground floor level, right? We need food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense to survive, right? And then we do other things, fixing the world if we can. Anyways, but we got to keep our sanity. Now, I am not a Vivek Ramaswamy guy, but he actually said something that I want to pass along, because I want to give credit where credit is due and criticize the fuck out of people where they deserve it. Now, I don't like Vivek a whole lot, but he said that this election with Trump versus Harris and now completely insane Walz, he says, quote, we're running against a system. Okay, and this is where we all get into it, a system. You can take out Biden, put in camel toes. The system is the same. this two wings of the same shitbird, right? Democrats and Republicans. I'm not a Republican cheerleader. I'm a registered Republican. The Republican Party, remember, just a few months ago, had Ronna McDaniels, Mitt Romney's daughter, in charge of it. They hated Trump, right? They're trying to politically assassinate him. Okay, again, two wings of the same shitbird, the Republican rhinos and normal guys, right? You and I, we're part of this tiny little organization. It's not even an organization. It's just a cadre of normal people, right? And what do we want? Freedom and liberty. Freedom and liberty. So Ramaswamy today says we're running against a system. It didn't matter if it was going to be an astronaut jackass from Arizona, or whether it was going to be the Jewish governor who thinks that when a woman gets stabbed 20 times, it's suicide, or Tim Walz, who is an absolute abject crazy person. We're dealing with a system. They can replace all the parts and it's always the same. Trump is a component piece that's just interesting. You can't replace the guy. That's why there was so much fear over the assassination attempt. The assassination attempt that put this hole in his head, right? That guy. So it's not about the personalities. It's about the system. I just wanted to start with that today. We're fighting against a system. So we've got these players on the bottom row. Then we've got, and Uman and I talked about this a bit privately. So you got the people on the bottom, the puppets, and they've got the puppet master above them. Could be Obama or Soros. It could be Bill Gates. It could be the banking cartel. And then above that are their puppet master. So it's like a puppet controlling a puppet controlling a puppet controlling the ones we deal with. So there's this system in place to try and steal our country, steal our wealth, destroy our governmental system, transplant their system on top of it, make us accept that, like eating the bugs, not owning any property and liking it, being stuck in a city where you can only travel 15 minutes and that's your whole life. They want to replace us with people with IQs this big. They're inbred, criminal, perverted sickos. And the government, these puppets, are inviting them in. And it's not just one country. It's actually the world's most free country, America, plus Europe, plus England, plus Canada, plus everywhere they can push this garbage. It's a system. So we're not fighting for Trump. We're fighting against the system. And it's a hell of a fight. It's a hell of a fight. So let's have some fun and talk about the players, how crazy they are. And remember our foundations and understanding Maslow's hierarchy. Bottom row, food, water, shelter, clothing, right? You've got to defend yourself. No one else can handle those things for you better than you, especially if shit goes south. Now, the Democratic Socialists of America, essentially it's the Communist Party. They are taking credit for Tim Walz, right? So they're trying to solidify the Communist Party within the Democrat Party and go mainstream with it. Once again, the system. The system. And only as one system is being replaced with the other. This is the war we're in. This is the battle we're fighting. Right? They're attacking anybody that opposes them. For example, and I like to give examples so we can kind of think about it. Right? Andy Ogles, Republican representative in Congress. The FBI raided his home. They seized his phone. It used to be that congressmen of both parties, of all the layers within the puppet system, had basic, you will not be accosted, harassed, raided by the FBI unless they had some fucking hardcore evidence that you've been the bad guy. Well, they don't care anymore. The phone is off the hook for sanity. It is all about these crazy bastards. They went after Trump. That proves that nobody is safe from these idiots. So they don't like Representative Andy Ogles. They're going to go after him. They're going to try and find something. Now, remember, other Americans that are being arrested are having information, evidence, if you will, fabricated and used with district attorneys, with judges to get search warrants and arrest warrants. They're using false evidence in court. They're denying the defense proper disclosure. They're supposed to disclose all the evidence they have, all the witnesses they have, all the witness testimony they have. They're not even following the law in the courts. They're just making shit up. They found Trump guilty 34 counts of felony, right? 34 felony counts with no crime committed. You're guilty. Talk about crazy pills, right? Okay, now let us continue with some more great examples, right? Not little hidden, well, this guy out in the swamp or that guy in the mountains or this hillbilly over here or a farmer I know and heard of, right? No. These are high-level people that we like to give examples of. Another Republican, Dan Goldman, he finally noticed that there's anti-Semites in the Democrat Party. Crazy pills. You think so? Really? It's funny as people wake up. They're like, holy cow. Dan, you should have been saying something about this months ago. Right? Let's see. Socialist communists that, yeah, it's going to continue, folks. It's going to continue. I mean, the crazy pills. Remember how we were told that it was political disinformation? In fact, the Democrat Party, Kamala Harris, Tim Walz, right? They want to push the idea that anything that is political misinformation is now not protected by free speech. No. The right to lie is protected speech. I have a right to tell my truth, my version. The government is now saying, no, you don't get to be in charge. They've done it with Cerveza bug. They did it with the Jim Jones juice. They're doing it with the World Health Organization, and they want it to cover politics. Now, if I were to pull out this funny little book right here, has an old Constitution in it, and thumb through here, right, and read some of the commentary, read the Federalist Papers, just read history in general. The idea is that all speech can be demonstrated to have a political component. Freedom and liberty rest on these political foundations right here. And so everything is protected. Now, it used to be that the government was not allowed to lie. Well, they passed a law allowing themselves to lie while Obama was president, with Nancy Pelosi in the House of Representatives and ass-hand Chuck Schumer in the Senate. Now, they can lie to us, but they're starting to tell us we're not allowed to lie. We're not allowed to have an opinion that they disagree with. Now, I did not lie about Cerveza bug. It's bullshit. I did not lie about the Jim Jones juice. I told the truth about how dangerous it was and what the cures were or treatments. And then when it comes to organizations like the World Health Organization, the CDC, the National Institutes of Health, and Dr. Fauci, I have not lied about any of them. The head of the WHO, Tedros, he belonged to or still belongs to terror organizations. Fact. Crazy pills everywhere. Now, there is a 2009 video that has come up yet again. And two veterans decided they were going to confront the staff of Tim Walz because he has made false assertions. He's claimed to be a war veteran. And he's violating still. He did then, and he still is today, violating the Stolen Valor Act. This is jail time stuff, folks. We can raid a congressman because the FBI doesn't like his opinion. But you're going to allow a governor to sit in office who is lying. He's committing a crime, folks. Stolen valor. And he won't stop it. He won't stop. There's witnesses after witnesses after witnesses, facts, proof, evidence, but we have this two-tiered justice system. The justice system itself is gaslighting us. Okay, it's telling us a lie and telling us we should believe it, and that if you don't, you are crazy, right? So we need to harass Biggs, right? We need to harass Trump, but we're going to let someone like the vice president nominee for the Democrats lie his ass off, not only as a political statement, but as a criminal act, and let him get away with it. See, you're not crazy. This is not cheerleading for the Republicans. This is looking at the system out here. The system is rewarding lies, cheating, stealing. Hunter Biden, remember that guy? How much shakedown did he do? How many millions of dollars did he put into the Biden world? Right? All the Biden businesses and subcorporations and bank accounts. That's just the stuff we know about. They get away with it. But you are supposed to be scared to death of the government because they're going to come after you. Right? I mean, now for the people that don't like Trump, why don't they like Trump? Well, because he's arrogant. Okay, you could make that argument. He has a huge ego. It's hard to argue against that. Right? He's a big mouth. Right? Okay, fine if you want to call him that. Right? But compared to all these other motherfuckers on the ticket, out in the world, in front of the cameras, in Washington, in the FBI, think of Peter Strzok, right? The evil elf guy. That fucker. Ruby Rod Rosenstein, the other little bastard in the FBI, the sneaky little piece of shit, right? He fucking lied. Chris Wray, the director, lied. Right? All of these fantastic liars, like, well, Merrick Garland, the attorney general, completely ignores criminals who are operating within their system that they want, while calling you and me and anybody that stands up to the LGB, let's groom children, expose them to homosexual pornography in schools, have their teachers talking to people, kids in class about their sexuality. That's you're a domestic terrorist, right? I'm not crazy. You're not crazy. The system they're trying to incorporate is nuts. And Trump, compared to all of those people, right? He is now the figure of decency, right? Macho man decency in a world where toxic masculinity, I'm like, toxic masculinity. Oh man, you got to be nuts to buy into that shit. Now, let us continue. I'm just going right down the fucking line on my stuff today, folks. There is so much to talk about. Please. Today's Thursday. Tomorrow is Free for All Friday. I apologize. No Zero Dark today. No internet today. Right? I had like this much bandwidth. I could get out text messages and simple messages, but I couldn't record. It was terrible. The world, it's like all of a sudden, 2024, we don't have the ability to live stream. Really? What changed? Anyways, get your questions down below. Mr. Uman has them. We'll be talking about you. I get the first 30 minutes. Then we do your questions. And if you want to be here live Monday through Friday in the afternoon, you just have to sign up at thepreparedmind.club or subscribestar.com. Okay. Dunkin' Donuts. It is now time to boycott them. Boycott them because they are threatening Rumble, another social media company that is trying to allow, promote, defend, and ensure free speech can exist. There's Rumble, there's BitChute. YouTube used to be free. Now it's just kind of there, right? X or Twitter used to be not free at all, and then it got freed up, I would say 90% by Elon Musk. But Dunkin' Donuts is threatening Rumble. We're going to pull our ad revenue. and another company too, some liquor company, unless they remove videos by conservative personalities. So they're threatening them. Get people off of Rumble. People like me, you, us. They want us silenced, or they're going to take their money out. Now, look, they can do whatever the fuck they want with their money and their advertising revenue. Do you think conservatives don't drink coffee? Do you think conservatives don't eat donuts? Think conservatives don't want to have a nice breakfast sandwich from time to time? Well, Dunkin' Donuts is going to lose our business. You would think that enough woke companies would be like, don't do it. Don't go there, right? Well, look, if I needed that kind of coffee, I would go to Pete's or Dutch Brothers or some other company, not Starbucks, of course. And now fuck you, Dunkin'. But this is the crazy world where you're like, I'm going to cut 50% of my customer base and piss them off. You're not crazy, folks. You aren't the bad one. They are putting their political ideology, their system, ahead of their income, ahead of their top line revenue, which of course filters all the way to the bottom line revenue. They're putting their political system, the ideology they want, the thing we're fighting against, they're putting that above their revenue. Bye-bye, Dunkin'. Hasta la vista. You're done. You're going to you start closing stores just like Starbucks did. You're done. Now, we are in a battle. We are in a quiet partisan war, a nonviolent civil war, a ideological insurrection that we're fighting against. They're attacking the Democrats, the system, the two-winged shitbird. They are attacking our republic, a legitimate nation. They're attacking us. Don't let them convince you that you're defending something bad or you're trying to destroy democracy, right? That's gaslighting, lies, and shit. Now, a lot of people are waking up. And Greg Kelly is not only a reporter, but he's a military veteran. There's lots of us, lots of military veterans. I don't claim, because I don't have it in my SRB, to be a combat veteran. I don't claim to be a rank I wasn't. I don't say, just call me gunny because I was a gunny. No, you don't do shit like that, right? There's certain things you don't do, not just because there's a law, but because it's indecent. Anyways, this is what Greg Kelly, the reporter and veteran, says. And here's the quote, Timmy Walls is in violation of the Stolen Valor Act of 2013. Penalty, 1 year in jail. Prosecute now. He needs to be prosecuted. Oh, wait. We just discussed how there is a system in place that we're battling and at war with, and that there's a two-tier justice system where they can manufacture evidence, make up bullshit laws, drag you to court, prosecute you, right? Find you guilty of nothing, and then say you're going to jail. Understand, this is how bad things are. So when I say something as obscene sounding as, I don't think I'm going to allow myself to be arrested, there's a reason. There's a reason, right? Because I've seen what happened to the January 6th protesters. They're still in jail. In fact, it's being exposed yet again that the FBI coordinated with the Washington, D.C. gulag to make sure January 6th protesters were punished. Isn't being in jail supposed to be the punishment? Right. Now, I don't even want to go down the road. The way jails initially were, here's your punishment. And then they came up with the system of where you get rehabilitated in prison. right? That was a later thing. It used to just be jail was punishment. Now you're supposed to be, an opportunity to learn who you are and get better and not be a bad guy. But, now it's all about getting their political enemies, the Democrat Party, the socialists, the communists, the fascists, the two-winged shitbird. Their idea is to throw us in jail and then punish the ever-loving shit out of us. Right now, they're just short of concentration camps and rounding up political dissidents. They're just short of that. Now, we just discussed the stolen valor. Timmy Walz, the governor of Minnesota. And I'm very disappointed in Minnesota, but I guess since it's got the largest Middle East immigration population, I guess we would expect them to elect the least American, the least free people, because they think they're going to control it. Anyways, Mark Kelly, he was he's an astronaut. I believe he's a senator from Arizona. So he's riding around on his own coattails as an astronaut. But he is now politically attacking the vice presidential nominee, Senator Vance. Senator Vance is a United States Marine Corps veteran. And he is attacking VP nominee Vance because the Senator Vance, is calling out Tim Walz for stolen valor. You see, the other day when they said, we're going to go with Tim Walz, and Trump said two words: thank you. This guy is a freaking disaster on wheels. He is a dumpster on fire. But see, it's not about the characters. It's about the system. It doesn't matter how bad Tim Walz is. They're going to portray him as a great guy in the media, in politics, and the FBI, etc. And they will use all of their political power, media power, star power, and federal law enforcement power, as well as state and local, if they can manage it, to attack you and me and anybody who is trying to fight the system. And again, the concept and argument comes up. Don't fall for it, John. They're both, even Trump is a bad guy. Well, once again, you want Kamala and Tim in there? Vote for them. See where that gets you. Let's get Trump in there again and see if we can get the fuck out of this. If you're convinced that even Trump is bad and he's leading us down this road, well, look out, because he can take another bullet for playing along with them. I don't think, it's just hard to believe that. Anyways, the crazy pills, folks, the stupid pills, they're being distributed with slingshots, and Democrats are just open their mouths and eating all they can, right? You and I get to think about stuff. They want another pandemic. Oh, by the way, and I want to thank Darcy T., a former Houston Texans receiver. His name is Jacoby Jones. He's 40 years old. He died. Heart issues. Are you surprised? Right? Today, and since we started covering, and not just me and you, but everybody started covering all the unusual deaths, people having heart attacks, young adults having heart attacks, teenagers having heart attacks, children having heart attacks, and even toddlers and infants having heart attacks because of the Jim Jones juice. So should we trust these people over when they say there's a pandemic? Right? You're supposed to think that you're crazy and stupid for fighting them. Once again, it's the system. Their system is to tell us that there's a problem out there, and we're just supposed to believe it. So they tried that. And how many people are dying of heart attacks? Well, the truth is going to come out eventually unless they can completely hide it. We're going to find out if they can hide it. 1 second, and we'll get into this. I hate it when I have a sneeze and I can't get it out. Anyways, the World Health Organization is once again trying to scare me and you. They just want to tell you something's bad and expect you to accept it, so you accept their system, their way of thinking. I'll let you make your own decision, but here's what they're saying. The chief, who I believe is Tedros, of the World Health Organization, he's calling for an emergency meeting. Well, this sounds bad. What is it? Is it the Omicron? Is it the Delta? No. He wants an emergency meeting of medical experts to decide if the monkeypox outbreak warrants the most extreme international health alert. Pandemic. I'll tell you what, you and me don't have anything to worry about unless you're going out to homosexual orgies and getting butt pounded by every swinging dick that walks through the door. That's who are getting the monkeypox, folks. Is half the world gay now? Is 3/4 of the world gay now? Is it that bad? That many? No, it's not. But they want to make anything they can an emergency so they can incorporate and initiate their systemic control mechanisms, right? They want to lock everyone down, period. It's crazy pills, folks. We have all kinds of stuff. There's a news report out here, and it's very interesting. People are calling for Texas to declare an economic war on Mexico to secure the border. That sounds kind of crazy, doesn't it? Texas declaring war against a foreign country, securing their own border. Isn't that the U.S. government's job? Remember when we had that world where the U.S. government was in charge of protecting our border? You know, they got the La Migra out there, ICE, Border Patrol. They're supposed to take care of this, and they haven't. So Texas, I mean, you've got to kind of flip things on their head to actually see reality and where it should be. Texas is so desperate to stop the war on them that they're going to declare economic war on Mexico. I don't know how real that is, but Texas is getting desperate. We're all getting desperate to fight this system that has been unleashed on us. This system that is so insane. So insane. Let me tell you, tell me if there's not fucking crazy pills being shot with a machine gun. In Florida, my state that I live in now, a Florida woman was arrested on animal cruelty charges after allegedly killing another woman's pet spider by drowning it in a fizzy drink. I mean, stories like this are just bizarre. Someone had a pet jumping spider. An idiot woman killed the spider. Is that animal cruelty? A spider is not a pet. It is not an animal. It's not even an insect. It's an arachnid. But are they protected under animal cruelty laws? It's just it's like, what the hell is going on? I didn't know jumping spiders were fucking pets. I certainly wouldn't believe they're not animals. Anyways, most people think of spiders as very creepy. Now, I know there's animal lovers out there. I get it. And there are people that actually have pet spiders and tarantulas and stuff. I tell you, folks, it's crazy out there. Absolutely crazy. Now, I want to get back to the other crazies in charge. Who are you going to vote for? Holy crap, I've gone past the half hour. I'm surprised Ooman hasn't hit me with an electric shock to bring me back around. We'll talk more about Timmy Walls, who claimed to be a command sergeant major. Unbelievable who these people are and what they're saying. let's do this. Let's roll on to the inner circle and find out what you guys want to talk about. Retired Command Sergeant Major. Yikes. Okay, Mr. Uman, here we are. It is Thursday, and Badass Diving Frog wants to check in. He says, John, did you see where Harley-Davidson got trashed at Sturgis last week for going woke? Made in India and assembled in Mexico. Sounds like a real live made in America Harley, right? No. Most bikers said they're buying Indian brand from here on out. No more Harley-Davidson. Yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible that Harley-Davidson used to be considered the authentic American motorcycle, truly American iron, no longer. If you can buy an Indian, buy an Indian. If I almost think that if I wanted a motorcycle again, I would buy something really old. I'd buy a Triumph maybe, or a kit, put together a kit. I mean, shit, if those ding-dongs on American Chopper can put together a bike, I can. Anyways, I mean, some of those guys that put together these custom rods are not rocket scientists. Others are freaking mechanical artists. Now, all that said, Harley wants to go woke. They're not hiding it. They're not denying it. So I say boycott Harley-Davidson. What a terrible thing. What an American icon. But yeah, Harley. Wow. So wait. Let me cover this in a prepared mind kind of way. So Harley-Davidson is woke, meaning they're communist. Everybody's the same. We need to treat everyone. We need to give everyone an opportunity. But as a company, we're going to outsource our motorcycle manufacturing and assembly to third world and second world emerging market companies and countries to take advantage of cheap raw materials, cheap finished materials, and cheap labor. So they're exploiting the poorest and most desperate around the planet, so they can sell you a high dollar item. Pretend it's all American. Screw over other people and then screw you over with an overpriced gizmo. And then they want to chastise you and tell you you need to be woke like them. And kind of like Leonardo DiCaprio. The Swiftie herself. Or that little shit Mark Zuckerberg. They all want to lecture us. They want to be woke and tell us how your carbon footprint, how you're hurting the world, how you're using too much energy. While they fly around, sail around, live in giant mansions. Did you know that Al Gore, none of his properties, according to the reports I've seen, none of them have any solar panels? Got huge, enormous mansions, not just one, but many enormous mansions. No solar panels, no renewable energy. Yeah, it's a scam. It's their system that they want to suck you into, make you believe in them. I'm about freedom and liberty. I like my and your constitutional republic. That's what I want. That's what I fight for. I'm not a cheerleader for this system. I want out of it. Right? Out of it. But what is the system doing to you? It's trying to murder you. It is. And I'll tell you a little about that at the end of the show. Uman, who is up next? And we've got Uman. Speaking of outsourcing, looks like SpaceX. Oh, yeah. This is a great one. And we'll have to bail out the Boeing astronauts because they're stuck on the International Space Station for over 60 days. And they have no way to get back to Earth. No way to get home. They were supposed to go up for 1 week. They didn't bring extra clothes. They didn't make any accommodations for a longer than 1 week. But the incompetence of NASA, it looks like, Yeah, if they're going to get out of space, they're now saying, well, it's going to be another 8 months. Why don't they just put on a spacesuit and a parachute, jump out and fall to Earth? Hell, that one dude did it from the Red Bull, right? Why not? I mean, if you jump out and you pop your parachute, yeah, the atmosphere's a little thin. You'll fall faster, but you'll slow down as you get, into thicker air. You just need a spacesuit and a nice parachute. You can make it. I mean, hell, I saw it. How many movies has that in it, right? Anyways, crazy, folks, crazy. Yes, SpaceX, Elon Musk to the rescue. This is what the government does to their people. They don't care. It could be Timmy Walls. It could be Camel Toes, the Ho Harris. It could be Joe Biden. It could be Hillary or Michelle Obama. It could be Gavin Newsom. They will fit nice and neat into the system. The system doesn't care about people. It doesn't even care about astronauts, right? Have you heard once failure's not an option come out of NASA? Nope. They're like, fuck it. You're stuck there. Over 60 days, up to 8 months, they're saying. If they're willing to do that to important astronauts, when I read this to you, thank you, Uman, you're gonna wonder what the hell's going on. In England, politicians there have been telling the radical, violent, anti-Western people, these guys here, English politicians, including the Prime Minister, have been inciting and allowing violence over there. But now a Labour politician in England, Labour meaning Democrat, their version of Democrats and communists, told these radical bastards here, people that look and act like these idiots, to start, quote, cutting the throats, end quote. Go ahead and start cutting throats of anti-immigration protesters. Well, this clown got arrested for that, but they're literally calling for the death of anyone that's not important. Even astronauts, not important. Certainly, I'm not important. And if I were to be arrested for being, well, an anti-immigration protester, right, they would punish me in prison. It's crazy, folks. It is absolutely crazy. The crazy pills. The crazy pills. And they don't care. I mean, Wayne Root, who happens to be Jewish, he's also in media, very famous guy. He says the Democrats have made the biggest mistake in their political history by picking Tim Walz as the VP nominee. But before Tim, wait. Uman, guess who we're not talking about so much right now? Kamala Harris. Because we're so busy laughing about this guy. But it doesn't matter to them. If they can cheat in the election, they don't care. If they can use the courts to attack people, they don't care. If they can just destroy us because, well, our lives don't matter, because they don't care. They're good with it. They're good with it. And that is where they're at. Now, Uman says this. I heard that Trump challenged Camel Toe the Ho to 3 debates on 3 different networks today. He's doing what he can. I think he should agree to whatever the fuck she wants to get her in front of a camera to, as Uman says, to show the world how stupid she is. I think they also need to show the world how crazy she is. Absolutely crazy. Thank you, Mr. Chin Music. He sent me a picture of a boat that is completely iced over, and it's the Al Gore Global Warming Research Vessel. That's good stuff, amigo. Yeah, these people are crazy. By the way, Trump and Kamala Harris have agreed to a September 10th debate on ABC, the American Broadcasting Corporation. So there's one. We got one in, Mr. Uman, one in. they've agreed to do. And we need more than that. It really is. More than that. Okay. Here we go. Oh, by the way, they're going to outlaw helium and helium balloons very soon, because in New Orleans, some of those mylar metallic balloons went up, hit a power line, caused a massive electrical grid system error there, and it fucked them all up, screwed up the water treatment plant, and now they all have a boil water advisory because of balloons. Now look, people are going to get sick from drinking the water. They're going to have all these problems. We need to outlaw balloons. There is no amendment in the Constitution protecting the right to have helium-filled aluminum mylar balloons. It's not a right. It's not in here. And AOC says, look, if guns were legal, it'd be in the constitutional amendments. She actually said that. Did you not read the Second Amendment? Oh, speaking of that, Cori Bush, one of the Jihad Squad in Washington, D.C., Cori Bush, idiot Democrat, ding-dong extraordinaire, communist sack of anti-American monkey spunk that she is, was defeated in a primary race. She is so bad, even Democrats are like, we're voting for that other Democrat. The system, folks, is going to replace Cori Bush with another idiot who gets to Washington and will fall right in line with the system and do as they're told. Have no fear. But the people in Cori Bush's district think they're going to get something different. Unless you go and you find a extreme right-wing, an extreme freedom-loving American, you're not going to get out of their system. Now, Cori Bush, of course, is not happy and is promising more racism on her part, and she's going to take off the gloves and attack America. I'm going to take her at her word. But the Jihad Squad is in big trouble, folks. They truly are. All right, Mr. Uman, let's continue with you guys. This has been a heck of a good show, folks. A heck of a good show. Lots of fun with you guys. And we got the Charlanator back in. She says, say a headline that artificial sweetener linked to heart conditions and blood clots. Artificial sweeteners have been around since the 1970s with saccharin, which they said, might cause cancer. So they've come up with a nut, but you can still get them in the little Sweet and Low packs. I think Sweet and Low, the little sugar packs you get at Dunkin' Donuts, right? That I think is saccharin. Then they got the one in the yellow package is another artificial sweetener, and then you got stevia, which is supposed to come from plants, and you've got NutraSweet to make it sound like it's nutritious. Heart conditions and blood clots. So we've had these artificial sweeteners since the 1970s, 1980s, 1990s, the 2000s, the 2000 teens. It's 50 years of this shit. But after the Jim Jones juice, now we're going to say it's the artificial sweeteners causing heart attacks and blood clots. It took 50 years for it to start affecting children who were born just last year, or kids that were born 5 years ago or 10 years ago, or teens that were born 15 years ago. Sorry, I'm not buying it, but I'm glad that you, Charlanator, are thinking, right? You're thinking about it. That doesn't make any fucking sense. Understand they want to pull us into their system, their belief system, their ideology. That's what we're trying to get other people to wake up from, see the dangers, get prepared. Food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense. You can make a difference. Yeah, look, if they can get rid of Cori Bush, right, we ought to be able to actually get someone in there who's not a complete sack of shit. But it's a hell of a fight we have in front of us. We're fighting. We're in a battle for our lives and our nation. Get active, right? Get active. This is the last election that we have to really be free. If we lose this presidential election, If we lose the Senate, lose the House of Representatives, we have lost our American republic, our constitutional republic. It's gone. So I think it's probably important to fight like hell before we have to fight like hell. Oh, by the way, speaking of the Jim Jones juice, one of the loudest, most obnoxious bitches in Australia who loved the Jim Jones juice, right? And she even had a show called Anti-Vaxxers Exposed. That was her documentary, Anti-Vaxxers Exposed. Guess what? She took all the Jim Jones juice she could get, and she has now died from cancer. Coincidence? You make the call. I'm telling you, folks. Holy shit. If I had a bottle of scotch in me, I'd drink to that one. Name redacted. He has the new Jim Jones juice. No, the new variant of the cerveza bug. It's called the Oh My God variant. Kind of like the Omicron. It's now the Oh My God. Wow. Absolutely wow. Now, believe it or not, I was listening to a video with it's an older video interview with Bob Lazar. He's the guy who exposed Area 51 and the fact that S4 in Dreamland down there in Nevada. He's the one that exposed and said, hey, I've been working on some of these captured spacecraft from either aliens or something else, right? He's an interesting cat, but they had a couple of, he mentioned both Omicron and Delta. Those two exact same names, Delta and Omicron, as names that were chosen having to do with stuff he's working on. These people in government are not really what I call original. Interesting stuff. Okay, Mr. Uman, we got some more? Chin Music, good to see you, buddy. He says, since when is a heart attack in almost certain fatalities? Take a wild guess. Exactly. People, I mean, you used to be able to get a mild heart attack, or you used to, have normal heart attacks, severe heart attacks, and people would live through that. They would live through a severe heart attack, right? It wasn't just I'm not feeling real good in my left arm, or short of breath. My heart's not feeling good, a little bit dizzy, right? That kind of a heart attack. And then there's the fucking keel over. Pow! Like a fucking tree got chopped down in the forest. That kind of heart attack. They come over, clear, boop, boop, right? Nail that son of a bitch. Or someone doing that, I'll save you by pounding the shit out of your chest. That kind of heart attack. People wake up, they're like, oh man, that sucked. I'm in a fucking hospital bed. And they're like, yeah, we may have to do some heart surgery, give you some bypass, put in a couple of stents, do some angioplasty. We'll fix you right up, man. Just chill out, have some Jello, avoid the nurses, they're bitches, and we'll get you out of here in a couple of days. Right? My former father-in-law, who has passed away, and may he rest in peace, was building houses with me, decided he was going to go into the hospital, wasn't feeling so good. This was 20 years ago, by the way. And they said, you've got some fucking problems with your heart. We're going to have to do like a 3-way bypass. He was home the next fucking day. They cracked his chest, opened him up, did a bypass, 3-way bypass on his heart, closed him back up, and he's like, okay, see you all later. Right? People used to live through this shit. Now it's like, I'm just going to die. Anyways, yeah. This is the world we live in, folks. Stupid pills, crazy pills. And this just popped in. Now not a fifth, not a second, third, or fourth, but a fifth Tim Walz stolen valor video has surfaced, where he introduces himself or talks about being a retired command sergeant major. A fucking off the charts lie. but he's a great candidate to put into the system. You see, they don't care. You and I are battling them and their system. Trump appears to be outside the system because they want him dead. And I want to bring this up one more time. Take a look. There is Trump's right ear with a bullet hole in it. Don't worry, Orange Man got makeup on there, made it look real pretty, so he can appear without the incredibly small My Pillow ear cover. Remember all the shit he got over that? That's an unnecessary bandage. Right? That's unnecessary. As they've got masks, they're like, that's unnecessary. That's unnecessary. I put a fish on my head. I need this, right? All the Democrats, they need 5 masks, right? Everyone stay 6 feet away from me. I'm going to roll up my windows, right? They're fine, right? But yeah, you're crazy. You guys are crazy. You're fucking crazy, but my fish is protecting me. I mean, really? Okay. Right? Now, Senator J.D. Vance, right? He was attacked by Breonna Keeler, right? She attacks him because he's talking about Tim Walz's stolen valor. There's 5 videos out there, and she wants to attack him, and I'm glad he went off on her. These people are morons, folks, morons. Don't worry, they're out there. I really hope the rest of the world gets rid of Ilhan Omar and Rashid Tlaib and Hakeem Jeffries and of course AOC, the Jihad Squad members. They're just not nice people. They're not nice people. And by the way, this whole stolen valor thing, it is very important because it speaks to character. Like I said at the beginning of this show, Trump, for all his imperfections, and he's not perfect, not even close, right? From grabbing him by the pussy to whatever happened with Stormy Daniels, to the fact that he's been convicted of 34 felony counts of nothing. For all his imperfection, he appears to be moral and decent, right? And then they bring in Tim Walz, communist lying sack of shit, stolen valor. Camel Toes Harris, who is Indian, not black, pretending to be black. Talk about cultural appropriation. Anyways, everyone's going to continue to go after Tim Walz on this stolen valor, including people like former Navy SEAL Carl Higbee. And he, according to the news, he's gone scorched earth on him. Scorched earth isn't enough for these people, folks. We really are at war. There just aren't any gunshots, except for those shots taken at Trump. But that's a conspiracy. No, there were no shots taken. It's all faked. I don't think so. Right? I don't think Trump went and had a portion of his ear removed so it looks like he's been shot. I don't think so. We need to go politically at war with these people. We need to use our weapons of war politically, which is our voices and our minds, to go after these people. Mr. Uman, I know I've talked a lot. Chin Music's back. He says, do the Democrats have special Jews sit here sections at the DNC? I don't know. Right? Shapiro, Governor Shapiro, who was Attorney General Shapiro, who's in all kinds of political hot water, happens to be Jewish, right? He served in the IDF. Apparently, he volunteered for the Israeli Defense Force, right? That would have been their veteran, right? Are they trying to convince veterans that the Democrats are honorable, right? They have that guy, Shapiro, the sack of shit, at the very least, not a great guy. But how can you be Jewish or Israeli and be a Democrat at this point? They're calling on their supporters to attack them, if not physically, at least politically attack them. It's incredible, folks. Absolutely incredible. Charlene here says, when someone tells me that they're voting for Camel Toes, I'm going to ask them to tell me why and what she's done to get their vote without mentioning the word Trump. Okay, what? You're going to vote for Kamala. So without referring to Trump, tell me why. Why Kamala? And I think it'll be very instructive for you. You may hear something new, something interesting. I can't imagine what the fuck it would be. Right? I can't imagine why, but it'd be great to hear from a Democrat. So far, no Democrats will talk to me. I think they noted upon my appearance and my tone of voice and my call for reason and actual legitimate thought. Fuck Trump is not a reason to vote for Kamala. It's an objection to Trump. I don't like Trump is an objection to Trump. I want to know what there is to vote for with Camel. So that's a great thing. Good luck with that, Charlene. I hope you can get back to us and let us know if you come up with some real gems. Because get this. Every time I listen to someone trying to explain why they don't like Republicans or Trump or anybody on our side, they make accusations and claims that are exactly what Democrats do, say, and think. Oh, they're trying to steal our freedoms. Have you seen what Biden, Kamala, Schumer, Pelosi are doing? Obama? Right? They're trying to censor and silence us. Really? Right? They say it's incredible. The projection is amazing. They have taken boatloads of crazy pills and stupid pills and idiot pills. They truly have. Folks, we've gone past the hour. Sad to say. As long as I have internet reception, as I drive through the darkness, I will do Zero Dark tomorrow. There's some amazing shit that's happening as we speak. I don't have enough information to cover it in detail, but it's coming, folks. Are you prepared? It's good to know that chance favors the prepared mind. Imagine being a complete lunatic idiot fuckstick. You would be a Democrat or a completely uneducated Republican. Right? But you aren't. You're prepared. So keep prepared, both with the physical items as well as understanding current events so you can see where we're heading. And as the Who would say, I won't be fooled again. Semper Fi, and God bless America.